Plus it has flash, so you could leave open a counterspell or something like that, and then drop this at the end of your opponent's turn. It's probably what I would pick first right there. Coilhelm Chronicler is not a bad card. If you're real heavy into kickers, you'd give you a lot of card advantage too. But definitely pickable. Just not as good as the Soaring Thought Thief there. Next pack. Got a Zulport Duelist. Cascade Seer. Fissure Wizard. Merfolk Falconer. Currently our winner. Demon's Disciple. Attended Healer. Silundi Vision. Scavenged Blade. Kazandu Stomper. Scoot Swarm. Go Scoot Swarm. I mean, all you need is landfall to make this one work. And once you get 6 more lands, you're making another copy of Scoot Swarm, and it increases exponentially, and you have a ton of 1/1s. It's great for a go-wide strategy to get around your opponents. Then we got a Wayward Guide Beast in foil. Which will also help out if you're heavy into the landfall deck. And then we got the Flame of Kill from Dominaria from the list there. Other notable cards. Silundi Vision lets you dig deep to get an instant or sorcery you might be looking for like a removal spell. Kazandu Stomper's fine playable. And sadly, that's about it. Oh, the Merfolk Falconer. Merfolk Falconer's definitely an on-rate card. 4/4 flyer for 5. And it lets you scry whenever you play a kick spell. Cat token. Minotaur Art. Full Art Island. Cleansing Wildfire. Pyroclastic Hillian. Goma Fada Vanguard. Fine playable, that's a good card so far. Thundering Spark Mage. Fine in a party deck. Ravager's Mace. Thwart the Grave. Sajiri Shelter. Not a bad card if you got a creature, real big creature you got to protect. Strength of Solidarity. Kaza Royal Chaser. Currently our winner. Kargan Intimidator. This is probably the best. It's got Invasion. You can pump it, and you give it Trample. It's a fine card. It's above rate, a 3/1 body for 2. That's might be our bomb right there. And then we got a Dauntless Survivor in foil. So I would go with the Kargan Intimidator here. And then the Coral Kaza Royal Chaser is also a fine pickup. Perfectly playable. And the Going With That of Vanguard is also a fine pickup. Okay, we got a green insect creature token. Some fine art. Got an Angel Heart Protector. Shepherd of Heroes. Marauding Blight Priest. Good enough life gain deck. It's about on right otherwise. Core Celebrant. Core Blade Master. Shadow Stinger. Makindiox. Canopy Baloth. Squad Commander. Pretty good card. Crawling Barrens is a good card, and it goes in any deck. You can keep powering it up for making it into a 4/4/4. You can keep getting it bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's only a creature until the end of your turn. So it's got to be instant speed removal to get rid of it. Sorcery speed removal won't work. The card I'd be going with. Then we got a foil Skyclave Sentinel, which is, whatever. But the Crawling Barrens here is a pretty good card for limited play. Squad Commander's not bad, but not even close to the value we'd see on that Crawling Barrens. I mean, yes, you got to pay the 4 every turn that you want to use it to attack or block with. You have to keep that mana open. But overall, I think that's worth it for the late game mana sink. And needless to say, this was also not a very strong pack. Going in, had a lot of playable white cards, but nothing that really shined. And that way you keep yourself open no matter what color you're in. You can kind of read the signals coming down. All right. Got a 2/2 Flying Drake token. Ooh, sweet little island art there. Molten Blast. Inordinate Rage. Good combat trick. Scavenged Blade. Broken Wings. Removal. Best card so far. Well, not really, it's real conditional. Probably take the Inordinate Rage combat trick right now. Soaring Thought Thief. Currently our winner. Skyclave Plunder. Good card selection and draw. Zoth Consumption. Smite the Monstrous. Definitely a good card. Grotag Night Runner. Undo Inversion. A board wipe for 8 mana. Not bad if you're in a want to fight against a go wide deck. And then the Risen Riptide and foil. I would probably take this Undo Inversion here. It's a little pricey at 8 mana, but this is a limited environment, so I'd probably take this because it'll clears everything. It's an Armageddon. And it wasn't really anything fantastic. Otherwise, the Smite the Monstrous will be the next best pick for sure, and the Soaring Thought Thief is a worthwhile pick. Most of the other stuff here is, begrudgingly playable at best. Well, except for Skyclave Plunder, which is strictly average. If you want to dig into your deck a little bit more. But card draw generally doesn't tend to win in aggressive limited environments, and this Zendikar set is much more aggressive than BFZ and Oath of the Gatewatch were. Those were very slow formats in comparison to this. All right, moving on. Sweetheart. Okay, we got Seagate Banneret, Cleric of Life's Bond, Relic Vial, great in the Cleric's deck, Spring Mantle Cleric, Grotag Night Runner, Scion of the Swarm, Umara Wizard, Teeter Peak Ambusher, Deadly Alliance, Inscription of Insight, Ruin Crab, Necrotic Sliver. That's a removal card right there. It's 6 mana to do it, but you can play it and then hold on to it. Probably our best pick right now. It's a list card, but you're really not going to see it in draft, but that's where I'd go. Best pick is probably going to be that Deadly Alliance there, because it's unconditional removal of a creature or planeswalker for 5, which in limited isn't terrible. Other notable creatures would be the Scion of the Swarm and the Cleric of Life's Bond in a life gain deck. Inscription of Insight isn't terrible. Yeah, Seagate Banneret's also great. It's a repeatable anthem for 5. Good late game mana sink. It's also on rate with a 1/2 body for 1. There's a couple of good cards hide out in the commons every once in a while in some sets. Got some plant token, some art, Expedition Diviner. It's a fine pickup. Cunning Geyser Mage. Okay card. Seafloor Stalker. Farside Adept. Tazim Royal Mage. Kitesail Cleric. Fine card. Ruin Crab. Tejiru Blightblade. Expedition Diviner again. Vellicut Awakening. Excellent card if you're in red. Red card draw, and it's a tap land on the back. Mnemonic Skitter Sneak and foil. So it's only on rate if it meets certain conditions. It's the best as it gets. So best pick here. I'm going to go with the Kitesail Cleric. Vellicut Awakening is a good card. But the evasive nature of this Kitesail Cleric here, and the fact that in the late game you can pay that 2 and a white when he comes down and tap 2 target creatures to get some of your other creatures in to attack. It's a better aggressive card, and I like to play aggressively. Whereas this, it could be card selection, but at most, it's kind of a wheel effect. It's a little trickier to pull off. For it to be beneficial, it's a little bit of a gamble. And the Jiru Blightblade, still a good card. 1/1 Death Touch for 1. Very much above rate. Core Warrior Creature Token. Ooh. Okay, we got a art card here. We got a full art foil forest. We got a Spitfire Legak. Got a Prowling Philidar. A Coom Hellhound. Tazim Raptor. It's our best pick right now. Tazim Raptor. Mesa Lynx. Relic Amulet. Kalni Ambush. Fight effect. That's green's best art of removal. Marauding Blight Priest. Merfolk Falconer. Scourge of the Skyclaves. That's our bomb. I mean, there's no two ways about it, because when you play it in limited, the worst case scenario, if you kicked it, it's a 10-10. If you late game, if you have to play it early for 2, as long as your opponent isn't at 20 life or better on the life gain deck, it's gonna do some work. It's gonna be on rate. And then we got the Kindle Stampede, which is a fine card. Anthem effect. And on rate with that Scourge of the Skyclaves. Without a doubt, best pick right now. McKindy Stampede's a fine pick. I'd still be happy with it. But yeah, Scourge of the Skyclaves is what we'd classify a bomb. And the Tazim Raptor is fine pickup too, and the Mesa Lynx is playable. Anything else here is we've talked about enough already, or is average at best. Got a copy token. Neat looking art. Forest Chilling Trap. Practice Tactics. Cleric of Chill Dips. It's a good blocker, especially on a Spellslinger deck or a late game deck. Expedition Healer. Paired Tactician. That's a good card, and especially in the Warrior deck. Fireblade Charger. Territorial Scythecat. Oblivion's Hunger. Scorch Rider. Aura Skyclave Hierophant. And a Cleric of Chill Depths and foil. Alright, in this pack, Paired Tactician is probably your best bet, and you're just gonna want to go with the Warrior route. Not a great pack, not gonna lie. Or it might be good in a Cleric's deck, but you got to do the work before he becomes good. Whereas the Paired Tactician here is at least on rate with potential upside. So it's a much lower floor on that card. All right, about 2/3 of the way through. Got a Vanquish the Weak. Definitely a good card to pick up. Blood Price. Feed the Swarm. That's the pick right now. Tormenting Voice. Rabid Bite. Acquisition Expert. Kazul's Fury. Tazim Raptor. Cliffhaven Kitesail. Tabarak's Hope's Demise. Synchronized Spellcraft. And a Body Snatcher from Urza. Okay, so Borax is a good card here. Feed the Swarm is unconditional removal. Really, what we got to think about here is we got an evasive flying threat with potential upside. Especially if you got some clerics in your deck, but you do have to go pretty high. It's got to have 5 or more +1/+1 counters. If you can generate some other ways to get those +1/+1 counters on it to get the lifelink, great. But either way, it's still a 2/2 flat. The floor on this is on rate, potential to build and get better. Kind of gets me thinking, but the Feed the Swarm is the best removal spell here out of the boat, out of the rest. So it's kind of a toss-up. Do you want a good evasive creature or good removal spell here? And with that creature having the potential to become a bomb if you can get pretty hard into the +1/+1 counter game. Or heavy into clerics. But yeah, I'd probably go with Borax. Just because I think he'd be fun. And again, the Tazim Raptor would be a fine pickup. All right, last third of the box, going to the home stretch. Not a bad box overall so far. We got at least one pathway so far. Value-wise, I don't think we're doing terribly great. Got a couple decent pickups. So we got the Omnath though, and the one pathway there. All right, we got a Cliffhaven Kitesail, a Utility Knife, Concerted Defense, Spoils of Adventure, Journey to Oblivion, Allied Assault, Canyon Jerboa, Cunning Geyser Mage, Roost of Drakes, great in a kicker deck. Got a Skyclave Apparition, conditional removal, it's not terrible. Cleansing Wildfire, and a Construct token. And here we don't have a great deck, but I would probably go for the Roost of Drakes and then try and pick up kicker cards here. Skyclave Apparition is not bad. It is semi-removal, but semi-not, because you're already getting your opponent another illusion creature token. And concerted defense also isn't bad. That's a good counter, non-creature counter spell. Next pack. Garbage card. Ooh. Oh, Nissa Gold Seal. Gold Signature. Nissa of Shadowed Bows. I like that one. Big fan of Nissa's Planeswalkers, Yoshi. I don't know why. Just kind of like her, because she's into nature and stuff. Kind of like me. Got a Kabir Outrider. Stonework Pack Beast. Gives you fixing. Might be alright if you're going Omnath way. Seagate Colossus. Sure-footed Infiltrator. That's a pretty good pickup there, especially in a rogue deck. Merfolk Wind Robber. That'd be my first pick now though. Thundering Rebuke. Good removal spell. That's actually now our first pick. Kabira Takedown. Also a good removal spell. Potentially bigger, but Thundering Rebuke is unconditional. You get the 4 damage. Core Celebrant. Hagra Constrictor. Not a bad pickup. Another Valakut Awakening. And a foil Canopy Baloth. Alright, so Valakut Awakening again, not a bad card, but Thundering Rebuke is unconditional removal for 2. Valakut Awakening is just card draw, so removal trumps card draw. In my opinion, on the Kabir Takedown is a conditional removal again because you have to have creatures. And a go wide strategy would be much better. But the Merfolk Wind Robber, also a decent card pickup, and the Sure-footed Infiltrator, if you get both of them together. It's a fine rogue deck right there. With a lot of card draw advantage on bodies. Plus you're doing damage, they're aggressively costed, they're evasive. Both excellent pickups there on the blue side of things. And whoever you pass to is going to see that blue is going to know that blue is open, seeing both of those go by. Alright, we got an art card. We got us a Forest. Strength of Solidarity. Cheater Peak Ambusher. Resolute Strike. Cliffhaven Sellsword. Kargan Warleader. Currently the best one so far. Taunting Arbor Mage. Malakir Rebirth. Verizal, the Split Current. That's a fun card. And we got a Pathway. Branchloft Pathway. Boulderfoot. Magmatic Channeler. A foil Expedition Healer. And an Angel Warrior Creature Token. Sweet. Alright, here. I would go with Verizal. It's in Simic. But it gets a +1/+1 no matter what counter for. So even if you're playing, even if X is 0, so you get playing just the green-blue, you got a 2/2. It's on rate no matter what you're doing. And then you have the option to copy kick spells by removing 2 +1/+1 counters from it. So I'd go hardcore all in on that. Be a lot of potential value there. If you play them late, there's plenty of potential value. If you want to copy a kick spell just one time, at least you got that one time just by playing it for that green and the blue. There's a lot of good upside there. Not really what I would call a bomb, but it's a fun card with a lot of good value there. Otherwise, that Kargan Warleader also be a good pick. if you have the magmatic channeler, it's kind of on rate to start with, but he could get bigger. Also be a fine pickup as well. Probably the second best pick out of this run. You don't have to do that much work to get it to be a 4-4, but to be a 4-4 in the late game, it's 1-3 to start with. And it gives you some card draw advantage. I'm actually thinking about it, I'm actually a little higher on this magmatic channeler than I am on the Verazol now. I'd go with magmatic channeler. Verazol might be better suited for a commander game with a kicker dominated deck. That'd be a lot of fun, but you can still make it work here in limited. It's possible. Anything's possible if you just believe. Heart of the cards and all that. Alright, we got a Drake token. Ooh. Scary. Alright. Got a Mind Drain here. Glacial Grasp. Anti-Cognition. Currently our best card here in the pack. Skyclave Sentinel. Marasa Sproutling. Vine Gecko. Great in the kicker deck. Jawari Disruption. Not a bad pick. Seafloor Stalker. Resolute Strike. Agadeem's Awakening. That is the bomb right there. I'm going to tell you all right now. Because you can bring back everything. For 1 mana plus 3 black. Then we got a foil Mind Carver there. But I would take Agadeem's Awakening here. Other good cards would be the Vine Gecko. Jawari Disruption and Anti-Cognition. Anti-Cognition probably a little bit better than Jawari Disruption, but not by too much. Ooh, Foil Swamp. Alright, we got an Ardent Electromancer, Sneaking Guide, Expedition